I'm going to take a second to talk to you about underdogs.
Eagles fans everywhere, this is for you.
Fly, Eagles fly, Eagles on the team. Touchdown, touchdown, time to get Jalen this ring. You don't really want to start a thing. This a Bird Gang Nation, baby. It's a Philly thing. Hater, and you looking like you type trash. I'm just here calling on Philly the podcast. And we can call a man dog or watch Miles score off the hand dog. Rest of the division, your man Saul. Jackson like Sean, hunting like Randolph. Season here, early time to do them in. Your boy Philly Fresco. Thanks for tuning in.
What is going on, you guys? It's your boy Joe Castro, aka Philly Fresco, and this is Philly the podcast. So today we had the very special honor of interviewing my man Andrew Dicecco from InsideTheBirds.com, and we went over a couple of different things. We went over, the Cowboys game. We went over some positions of concern with the Eagles, and at the end, he did give me his little record prediction, and not his record prediction, his score prediction, and what he thought would happen with the Falcons. Now, we did not go over the news of Landon Dickerson is obviously not playing week 1. We did not get too deep into talking about who these protected practice squad players would be and what to look out for that. We will be probably talking to him pretty soon again, just to go over stuff like that when stuff happens. But what I want to do is something a little bit different. Usually I just repost it, let you guys, talk in the lives. But what we're going to do is I'm going to play it for the guys that have not seen it. Members already have seen it. Members got to see it live, but I'm going to play it on here. And I'm going to stay after about 10, 15 minutes. If you guys have any questions, I'll answer the questions. So feel free to be leaving comments as it goes. And like I said, after the actual live, it's about 10 to 15 minutes. I'll, answer any questions you may have. But if you guys like it this way, let me know and we'll start doing it this way. But yeah, without any further ado, excuse me, we got my man Andrew Dicecco. So we're going to definitely check this out. Hope you guys enjoy. Peace. What's going on, you guys? It's your boy Joe Castro, aka Philly Fresco, and this is Philly the podcast, man. So today, as you can see, we have a very special guest. We have my man Andrew Dicecco from InsideTheBirds.com. Andrew, how's it going, man? Thanks for coming on the show.
Joe, good to be with you, man. Thanks for having me on.
No problem. So for those that may have been living on the rock for the past, off season and haven't been seeing the amazing work you've been putting out, let them know where can they find you, and your name, obviously who you are, and where they can look you up.
Yeah, I appreciate that. And you can find all my work on InsideTheBirds.com. Me, Adam, and Jeff Mosher, we put out a lot of content, and we have some new things in the works with the website. And you can find all my work there as far as post-game stories, feature stories, film breakdowns, and all kinds of cool stuff on there. So definitely go over to InsideTheBirds.com and check it out.
Definitely. That have definitely been keeping me up to date. So we'll talk about up to date, right? Last night, we just had our season opener. The Dallas Cowboys went out there, had a thrilling game by all accounts. I can't sit here and hate, even though I'm an Eagles fan. But they had a great game against the Buccaneers. Can you just let me know what your, off the cuff thoughts are? I know it just happened last night, but did you see anything in Dallas that you're maybe a little bit afraid of in this division race?
Yeah, Dak Prescott is back. He looks healthy. He's back to his normal self. He's threading the needle. He has a deep group of pass catchers. Zeke Elliott didn't really do a whole lot last night, which is kind of alarming if you're a Dallas fan. But I think ultimately he's going to get going and become the dominant player that he always has been. But I think you're going to see CeeDee Lamb start to come into his own. You started to see some of that last night. And he just has – I'm not sure what the latest status is on Michael Gallup, who was injured and left the game last night. But there's a number of weapons there. They have a couple tight ends in Blake Jarwin and Dalton Schultz, who I think are going to be implemented into the offense throughout the season. So, and a young defense, right? I think they have a defense that's going to fly around the football. They definitely have some holes there. So there's going to be an opportunity for the people like Devontae Smith and Jalen Reagor. I think if you're an Eagles fan, that are really going to be able to exploit that in certain games, in certain situations, I should say. But, they definitely have some solid pieces there to make a run at this division.
Definitely. Yeah. I know as an Eagles fan, and I know everybody probably breathed the collective sigh when Tom Brady became Tom Brady at the end of the game. So we don't have to hear the Dallas Cowboys talk about how they won that game all year. But it was a great showing for them. I can't sit here and lie about that. Now, on to the Philadelphia Eagles. We open our season against the Atlanta Falcons, and obviously we have a quarterback of our own. Every team does. But what are you looking for out of Jalen Hurts? What do you think he has to do to lead this team to victory against the Falcons?
Win the turnover battle, to protect the football, deliver the football with accuracy, get the tight ends involved, because I think there's going to be an opportunity to exploit the linebackers and the safeties, which are pretty slow-footed and aren't overly athletic. I think Dallas Goedert's going to have a chance to threaten them vertically. So you want to see Jalen take what the defense is giving them, and I think there's going to be some big play opportunities there. But ultimately, you want to see the poise that he's always known for since his college days. You want to see him protect the football, kind of hang in there in the pocket, and only bail out and run when you have to. You want to see him sort of preserve his body for the full slate of games this season. But you kind of want to. It's a big mystery to see what the offense is going to look like. I think that Nick Sirianni and company are going to really utilize the athleticism and all the certain diverse traits that Jalen Hurts brings to the offense. So it's very exciting to think about how he could be utilized in this offense.
Definitely. And he's not alone. He brought friends, right? He brought his friends. So, we have Devontae Smith, and we have a very good receiving core, at least during these individual drills, individual practices, whatever you want to, or joint practices, I should say. We've looked good at the wide receiver practice. Is it too far of a jump? Am I off base saying that this may be one of our better receiving cores that we've had in at least the current past? Do you think Jalen Hurts has the weapons around him to really utilize to kind of show his talents this year?
Well, as far as a receiving core, it's a little bit premature, I think, to make that distinction. However, Devontae Smith is far and away one of the best receivers that the Eagles have had, and he, just as a rookie coming into training camp, Joe, he was already the most polished wide receiver in terms of route running, releases, just very advanced. He's an advanced player, and he's going to step right in and be the top receiver on this team and make an immediate impact. However, further down the depth chart, there are questions that Jalen Reagor, is he going to be able to make the next step in his progression? Can he overcome some of the challenges that he had to encounter last season and become that vertical threat, that dynamic player in space that he was billed as when they drafted him in the first round out of TCU? Or is he going to continuously be one of those players that isn't necessarily a volume guy that sort of rotates in and out of the offense and is more of a complementary piece? That has yet to be determined. And Quez Watkins was the training camp standout. I love what he brings from a dynamic presence in the open field. He's very electric, and he has that long speed, and I think that he's going to be someone else who factors prominently into the offense, that they're going to sort of rotate in with Greg Ward. And you got him and Jalen Reagor are players that you really want to get the ball in space to and let them exploit their athletic talents, because they're really a home run threat waiting to happen anytime they touch the football. But they have yet to prove it. They have yet to really prove it, Joe, when it really matters in the regular season. So you love what they bring from an athletic standpoint, but it really needs to be that needs to transpire and carry over onto the football field. But you have to love the summers that they put together. Now you just hope to see if the momentum can carry over. And then with Greg Ward, obviously, he's that solid, steady slot receiver that's not really going to be a vertical threat or be explosive after the catch or anything like that. But if you want a guy that's going to catch the football consistently and move those chains, he's your guy.
Definitely. Now let me switch over to the defense a little bit. Obviously, we just got the news alongside with Landon Dickerson. He's not going to be starting week 1, but Rodney McLeod isn't going to be starting week 1. Just looking back on the preseason, what you were seeing in the practices and everything, do you think it's Kayvon's job? Who do you think is going to step into that safety spot for week 1?
Well, to be honest with you, and this isn't, going to be a popular comment here or anything, but I think that Marcus Epps is further along. I think the Eagles possibly feel more comfortable putting Marcus Epps out there to be the starter, and I say starter in quotations because I think that you're going to see a lot of Kayvon Wallace as well. I think both players are going to rotate and factor prominently into the defensive game plan. They both bring a little bit of a different skill set. I sort of view Kayvon Wallace as a nice third safety who can really do a number of things for Jonathan Gannon. Do I think he can be a long-term starter? Not based on what I've seen or the skill set that he has, but I do think that he's going to play a pretty prominent role on this defense this season. Marcus Epps doesn't have a ton of upside, but he is someone that was a favorite of Jim Schwartz. He's a smart football player. what he lacks for in athleticism, he makes up for in savvy, and he's always in the right place, and he knows his assignments. So I think there's a little bit of a comfort level there, putting him out there, knowing that you know what you're going to get out of him. But I mean, I think that's sort of what you're going to see, and then you might also see tomorrow when they have to make their practice squad promotions. I think being so light at safety, only having 3, I think you might see someone like Elijah Riley get promoted from the practice squad, who is a really strong special teams player. So they're going to be really late and inexperienced in that safety room outside of Anthony Harris for week 1, that is. But we'll sort of see how that shakes out. They're going to have a tough task there with Kyle Pitts, tight end.
Yeah, now that kind of brings me right into the next question perfectly. With that being said, do you think it's going to be, I know we're looking at like more of a zone type of scheme as far as the secondary goes, but do you think it's going to be a very, how do I say this, a team effort, I guess for lack of better terms, to try and take Calvin Ridley and Kyle Pitts out of this game? Do you think that they're going to trust Darius Slay to just kind of shadow Calvin Ridley? I know he's been asking that for this offseason, but what are your thoughts on how they can probably most effectively stop this passing game?
Yeah, this is something I gave a lot of thought to ever since the schedule was put out. How are they going to, tackle that Calvin Ridley? Because Calvin Ridley is a phenomenal route runner, and I think he's someone that can thrive on these short to intermediate routes, but he's also somebody that can get a corner frustrated and take advantage of some of their aggressive tendencies, like a Darius Slay, and then beat someone on a double move. But then when they added Kyle Pitts in the draft later, I was like, okay, well, who's going to draw that assignment? Because Kyle Pitts can play. You can move him all around the formation. He's sort of a unicorn in that regard. So do you put Eric Wilson on him? Do you put Anthony Harris on him? I don't know that either player. I don't think that the Eagles have a defender that's equipped to stop someone like a Kyle Pitts, who has the catch radius, the speed, the ability to high point football, and the explosive run after the catch ability and red zone upside. I don't know how you defend someone like that. He's going to be a threat and the ultimate weapon for years to come.
Yeah, definitely. It's going to be interesting to watch. Now, that brings me to my next question. Obviously, both of these teams, not only player-wise, but front office-wise, are young. We have brand new coaches. I was going to say very young coaches, but we both have brand new coaches for the Falcons and for Nick Sirianni. So what are you looking for out of Nick Sirianni? Obviously, it's his first game. Like, maybe we can. I don't want to say we can't read too much into it, but what are you looking to see out of his first game as a Philadelphia Eagles head coach?
A disciplined football team that's structured and has his team ready to play. How many times have we looked back and said, hey, Doug Peterson didn't really seem like he had the team ready to play. They came out flat, and they didn't really turn it on until later in the game. Well, you want to see Nick Sirianni have his guys prepared and ready to go. They have a ton of energy, and the message has been very consistent all offseason on accountability and competition. And you want to sort of see that innovative play calling and kind of coaching guys on the fly, utilizing players to the best of their skill set, and instead of shoehorning them into the offense to sort of make them what you need them to be, so to speak. So you want to see an offense that's really going to be more creative. But you also want to see them come out strong and come out on fire and carry that momentum throughout the game, because under the Doug Peterson era, it was sort of ebbs and flows of the game, and they rarely put together a full 60-minute game of competitive Eagles football that we've come to know over the years. At least last season, it was sort of a mess. So you want to see that sort of come out with a game plan and really take advantage of some of these matchups that they're going to have to exploit.
Definitely. Now I got 2 more questions for you, and then I'll get you out of here. I know you got a busy weekend ahead of you, with the games coming up. But we were able to talk to Fran Duffy the other day, and he was telling me that the guy that had his eye the most was Javon Hargrave. Now, you were able to watch most of these practices, if not all of them. Was there anybody out there that, looking back, hindsight, you're saying, darn, this guy had a really good camp. I'm excited to see him week 1?
Oh, yeah. Javon Hargrave's one of them. Josh Sweat's another guy who I think can, really push for double-digit sacks this season. I would say Zach McPherson really looked strong in the first couple of weeks of training camp, and then, he sort of got tested a little bit by Cam Newton and really needed to. I think it's almost good that he gets to play from a backup role rather than being thrust out there and being forged by fire. I think he's being able to sort of
Definitely.
develop slowly and not have to endure those early growing pains, which really can affect a young player and affect their confidence. So he'll be able to be brought along gradually. But I have seen a lot of NFL skill sets from him, high level skill set from him. So he's a player that I really like. Obviously, Jordan Mailata was also Javon Hargrave, Jordan Mailata were 1 and 2 for most impressive player of the summer. Jordan Mailata is just a dominant athlete and just a physical specimen and continues to get better. He hasn't come close to hitting his ceiling, and it's remarkable to see what offensive line coach Jeff Soughton has been able to do with this project. Remember, this is only really this is his 4th season playing professional football. So it's just remarkable strides made by Jordan Mailata, and those are just a handful of players that I think are really set to have a big season this year. So those are the
I
things
love
to look for.
it. They're all young guys. I love to hear that. That's what you want to hear, right? You want to see the future starting to mold itself. And I know after last night, everybody's going to see Vita Vea and they're going to be like, why don't we do that with Mailata? Why don't we do that with? So that'll be interesting storyline over the year. Now, the last question, I can't let you get out of here without asking you this. What are your thoughts on this game going into the game? Do you think that the Eagles can win this game? And if so, why? If not, why not?
That's a great question. Here's the thing. This is somewhat of a toss-up, Joe, but I look at it this way. The Falcons have the home field advantage. They have the veteran quarterback, and they have a veteran receiver. They've had that rapport for a number of seasons. However, the Eagles have the better team. They're dominant in the trenches on both sides, which is where the game is really won. And I ultimately think that's going to be too much for Matt Ryan and company to overcome. I like the Eagles to win this game 24-20.
Ooh, I like that. So I said 24-10. So we're close. We're close. I like it. Making me feel more confident. But Andrew, I appreciate you so much for your time, man. One more time before we get you out of here, please let them know where they can find your work at.
Yeah, you can check out all my writing at InsideTheBirds.com, and I'm on 97.3 ESPN South Jersey at 4 o'clock every Tuesday and Friday talking football. So if you have a second, give that a listen too. I appreciate all the support from everyone.
Definitely. And we'll have links to all his stuff in the description as always. But I appreciate everybody that tuned in. Be sure to hit that like. My mic was muted. What I said was that was Andrew Dicecco. So if you guys want to see that full interview again, you can go on over to the Newsbreak app. It is going to be available on there by the morning. So definitely go check that out. Definitely don't know how to use my microphone apparently, but if you have any questions, please feel free to leave them in the comments right now. While you guys, if you do have questions, I do want to just announce that we are changing up the pregame show. So how we started this whole thing started off of pregame shows. Me and Brandon started doing the pregame shows, and that's how Philly the podcast was really born. So we're trying to change it up now. Me and Brandon are talking. Me and Brandon are figuring some stuff out that we are going to do. And we're going to have some segments. We're going to have some people that you may know, some people you may not know, giving you different views and giving you different ways. Now, I did drop in the community my email address. If you are a fan of the Eagles, which if you're a fan of me, I'm assuming you're a fan of the Eagles, email me a 1 to 2 minute video and we'll use it in the pregame show. So if you email me a 1 to 2 minute video, we will use it in the pregame show. So I hope that everybody does. We already got a couple videos, so it's kind of cool. We're looking forward to it. Look, there's going to be a million different pregame shows, so we appreciate if you guys come on over to ours and have some fun with us. It's going to be great. I promise. You know how we get down. But shout out to Andrew Dicecco. I really do appreciate his time. Dak, I give nothing but love to the Cowboys, man. They did their thing yesterday. They should be proud of themselves. Liability Collins. Man, people are dropping left and right in the NFC East, in the NFL in general. So it's tough. It's definitely tough. Gallup is out 3 to 5 weeks. Collins with the 5-game suspension. What's good? The solo bolo. Dallas does still stink after last night's performance. I don't think I'm afraid of the Cowboys. I think they are what I thought they would be. What's good, AK Eagles? You're good, man. I was supposed to go live at 7:30, but unfortunately, life's been a little bit crazy for me, hectic lately, so it is what it is, guys. But what's good, Jock Talk? What's good? But like I said, I do appreciate everybody that dropped through. Please email me your videos, guys. Me your videos. We'll use it for the pregame show. I think you guys are really going to like what we're doing for this pregame show. I really do. So please give it a chance and let me know what you guys think. But other than that, I do got to get out of here, man. Shout out to my guy, Murph. What's going on? Came into the game expecting to lose, but it was a good game, man. It was a good game. I'm not going to sit here and lie, man. But I do got to get out of here, man. I do appreciate everybody. I really do. I know that this past couple weeks have been a scatter, and I think that's like the best way of putting it. I have not been putting my best foot forward, but I promise you that we will be getting on schedule very soon. So we're going to get this. We're going to get this popping. So Joe, some love, y'all. Yeah, show Joe some love, y'all. I like that. What's good, Anthony Chavez? Bucks played sloppy and still won. Dallas is overrated. I agree. I agree that they played very sloppy, and it should have probably been a blowout for the Cowboys. Cowboys low-key probably should have blown them out. But it is what it is. It was a good game. They didn't get blown out. So, I mean, that's what everybody expected. So I can't be too critical of them because I thought they were going to do a lot worse, to be honest. But either way, I love you guys. I know I said this like a million times. Shout out to Andrew Dicecco. Definitely go check him out on Twitter. Definitely go check him out at InsideTheBirds.com. I will definitely be having him on again. So other than that, man, y'all know what it is. It is Fly Eagles Fly, and we are out here. Peace!
B. Scott with the Philadelphia
John
Eagles.
Dornbos here, the Philadelphia Eagles.
Edwards of the Philadelphia Eagles.
Follow my guy Joe Castro on his YouTube/podcast channel.
Let's give a shout out to the Philly podcast.
And shout out Philly and my guy Joe Castro. So keep on doing great things, guys. Fly Eagles Fly.
Fly Eagles Fly.
Go Birds.